So I heard that there's actually a Finding Nemo Easter egg. If you type in the game, you type "Where's my son?" and then the next time you go fishing in the ocean, you'll get a clownfish. Now, it hasn't been proven if then the next fish will be a dory fish, but I did hear that.
I have never experienced that, but I believe it wholeheartedly. Because Animal Crossing is a mysterious game full of mysterious things.
It's a mysterious game full of mystery. Welcome, everybody, to Saves Together, the podcast about playing games together. Whether that means co-op or passing the controller back and forth, or you're just playing the same game at the same time, it doesn't matter how. It only matters that it's together because...
when you save together, you stay together.
I'm Craig McGowan.
I'm Grace Novak.
And today, this is episode, forgot to check,
47.
I thought it was 48, but doesn't matter. This is episode 47, and we're talking about the granddaddy of them all, Animal Crossing New Horizons.
And we're recording on Bunny Day.
And it's Bunny Day right now. In fact, we
the
just
most
got
holiest
back.
of days.
We just returned. We flew back to our islands from a Bunny Day party, which was pretty cool.
It was pretty cool.
But we'll talk about that in a little bit. Right now, we're going to talk about solo time. What have you been playing?
Oh, forgot this was a question. I've been playing Tokyo Mirage Sessions still. I'm at the end of the game because Final Fantasy VII Remake came out. And so I started that. We both started that. And, I want to really get into it, but I'm trying to finish up Tokyo Mirage Sessions because it's a lot having a lot of RPGs on my plate at once. So
yeah.
After that, but when we're, going back and forth, sharing Final Fantasy VII Remake, I also want to play Sayonara Wild Hearts next because we just got that in the mail pretty recently as a physical Switch limited release game. So I'm excited for that.
I don't know if it is limited. Was it? It was IM 8-bit.
Oh, I don't know. I mean, they're not selling it at GameStop.
Yeah. Final Fantasy, you've played the original, right?
I did. It was my favorite Final Fantasy game. Basically, Final Fantasy, as I was growing up, was always a series I wanted to get into because I've always liked JRPGs. But for some reason, I mean, they're long, two, they are hard, especially the original ones. They're hard for me, at least, especially as a kid. So I never could beat them. I would start one and be like, okay, maybe this isn't the one. I would start another one and be like, okay, maybe this isn't the one. The first Final Fantasy I ever actually beat was 7.
How old were you?
That made an impact on me. I was pretty old. I think I was like a young adult.
Okay.
But that was my favorite as far as story and setting and characters and the combat. It just really hit all the goals I needed it to actually defeat it because those Final Fantasy bosses are a bitch. They're
Really?
hard.
Yeah, remember how I was playing 10 when they re-released 10 on Switch?
I think I ended up beating that too once they re-released it, but that was the first time I'd beat it.
On Switch?
Yeah. Remember? I did. then I passed it to you.
Oh, I don't remember that.
Yeah.
I couldn't get very far. I got maybe sort of far. Is that a long one? Is that game long?
They're all long. Yes, that one is long.
I guess I didn't get that far.
They're all at least 60 hours at least.
I know nothing about Final Fantasy VII, and like you were asking me the other day, like, well, you know the big thing or whatever, and I was like, honestly, I don't think I do. All I know about Final Fantasy VII is Cloud has a big sword, Sephiroth has a double-bladed katana, environment damage.
The environment.
Don't hurt the environment.
I'd actually forgotten that part of it until I started playing this, and I was like, oh yeah.
So I don't
that.
actually know anything somehow, I think.
It's exciting. I mean, it's a great game. I'm excited to see what you think.
I'm a little bit nervous that it's like I'm putting too much stock in this because like it's Final Fantasy VII. Everybody fucking loves that game. But I'm kind of nervous that I'm like expecting it to be more than it's going to be, the story anyways, because everyone, I don't know. I don't know at all what to expect, so I'm expecting to have my mind blown, and I don't want to feel that way, but I sort of do.
Yeah,
I'm kind of, it's kind of making me, it's kind of like a false start for me, where I'm like, should I start it? What if I don't like it because of this expectation I've set for myself?
For me, it's mind-blowing beyond the story just because it's playing a game that I played so long ago in such a graphical limitations, and then playing it again in this way is mind-blowing for someone that's played through it before.
So is
it's
that
an
another
interesting,
problem I'm going to have?
I mean, it's a beautiful game regardless.
Yeah, it is.
You liked Final Fantasy 15, right? As far as the graphics and stuff?
Oh, yeah,
And
I actually really like that game, except structurally later down the line of the game. But
And I think this one tells a better story and has better... I mean, Final Fantasy 15 has good characters, but I think this one, for me, has more memorable characters. So yeah, you'll have to report back if it blows your mind or if it disappoints you.
yeah, and it'll be the next episode probably because it is sort of my goal. If you haven't noticed, this went up in the middle of the month, this episode, or we're supposed to, and as long as everything goes according to plan. We are cooped up because of quarantine, because of the world, you know how it is. So we're actually going to try to do bi-weekly episodes again like we used to, just to give us something to do, put a little structure back into our lives.
Yeah, why not? And people, they want to play the co-op games right now.
Right.
If you're stuck in with somebody that you play games with, or maybe they haven't played games and you want to introduce them to something, now's the perfect time, because what else are they going to do,
Right.
And you can play, digital remote games with other people. That's also a fun thing.
And part of my goal with Final Fantasy is going to be like really go hard on it during the weekdays while you're working,
Yeah. I'm working from home.
Right. I don't know. I haven't really done that with a game in a while, other than Animal Crossing.
Give it your all, man. I mean, don't rush through it. Just if it gets...
I don't want to rush. I just mean like I'm going to almost schedule, hey, I'm going to play for 5 hours, 6 hours straight now.
Yeah.
I know that doesn't sound like that much if you're one of those people that does that a lot, but I kind of stopped doing that. I don't know why.
Because you're an adult.
Ugh.
You don't need to
Yeah, I
do
ran out
that.
of time
It's
before,
not
but
fun.
now I got all the time in the world.
I think it's not that fun. I just think there's like the weird nostalgia for doing nothing but playing a game for people that are getting older as gamers, and it's like,
Yes.
get over the fact that it's not, you're not the same person, and it's okay for that not to be fun, because there's many fun things. And I think it's okay to balance your time. That's all. I always get sick of this whole like, man, games just aren't the same as it used to be. I don't want to sit down and play a game for 12 hours. I'm like, that's because you have like a life now.
Oh,
You're not
I
a
don't feel
child.
that way though. I wasn't doing it because I'm nostalgic for it. I was just doing it because like...
I wasn't saying what you're doing is because of nostalgia. I'm saying when people lament missing that kind of thing and acting like it's games' fault.
Yeah,
or,
right.
Or
like,
that they're
games
falling out of
suck
love
nowadays.
with games.
Yeah.
I'm like, I don't even think it's that. I just think, your brain understands that there's
other
you have
things to be
self-control.
interested in.
Yeah, that, and like you know that you don't need so much of one thing. You're not stuffing your face full of cookies every day forever. It's not good anymore.
Right.
Whereas as a kid, you would if you could.
Yeah.
Anyway,
And I did.
and you did.
I think we should talk about a game that we didn't slow ourselves down with, I would say. Like, I've played the
I
most...
feel like I've slowed myself down.
I played a lot of this game.
We both have at
and-
least over 100 hours, right?
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah. There's no beating this game, but I would say we saw the credits roll, so we've beaten this game, so to speak.
Yeah.
Just to put a name to it, because I do like for people to know whether we've beaten a game we are reviewing or not.
So let's talk about Animal Crossing New Horizons.
Let's do it. Well, you know what I heard, Craig? I heard that if you set up one of your rooms in your house in such a way where it's like a coffee shop, like you get the mug and you get the espresso machine and like some of the kitchen appliances, and you set it up in a particular way, there's someone that said that Brewster will appear behind the museum at midnight that same night that you kind of like finish your room. And he'll give you a shirt that says "Bring Brewster back."
Oh,
and
that's
then
why
he'll
the
leave.
hashtag. I saw that hashtag.
Yeah,
Hashtag
hashtag-
save Brewster and theroost.com.
Yeah, that's what they say. So you should give it a shot.
That's a cool one.
Yeah.
Developed by Nintendo and published by Nintendo, Animal Crossing New Horizons was released on March 20th, 2020. I had trouble getting my game. I wanted a physical copy because if you're a longtime listener, you'll understand that I like physical copies. And I had pre-ordered mine from Best Buy, but then COVID struck, and the day I had to go to work, the day this game came out, I was still had to go somewhere.
Right.
So I was like, okay, I'm going to go to work, and then on my way home, I'll stop at Best Buy, and then I'm going to just hole up. And I knew that was the last day because we were working from home after that. And as I'm out and about doing work stuff, I got a text that was like, hey, your store's not opening, so you could go to a different Best Buy, and we'll honor your pre-order there. Just let us know. I was like, honestly, like I don't feel like finding a new Best Buy, and I really shouldn't be out in the world right now anyways. So I actually had to go digital, which I'm not that upset about because this is a pretty good option for a digital game.
Yeah,
Like,
I would always get this game. I would always get this game digitally just because, especially down the road in playing this game, you only play for like a couple hours a day or even less than that at some point, and so it's good if you have another Switch game going that you can switch back and forth faster.
yeah, you just wake up, do your Animal Crossing dailies, and then switch right back to your other game.
Right.
Whatever you're playing through. For you, it's Shin Megami Dancing. What's it called?
Shin Megami Dancing is a
J-pop?
good alternate title for Tokyo Mirage Sessions.
That's what it is.
Which is also a stupid name for this game. Shin Megami Dancing would actually have been a better name.
But isn't it TMS?
It's not. It's Persona.
Wait, what is it?
Technically.
It's the Tokyo Mirage Sessions. TMS, isn't that?
Tokyo Mirage Sessions.
Isn't TMS? Wait a minute. I thought it was SMT though. Shin Megami Tensei.
Right. It's
weird.
it's they but
switched
jumbled
it.
They jumbled it. Yeah. I don't know. Anyway, digitally is great.
Yeah. But what's the genre of this game for those who may not know?
It's very unique. It's a unique game. There's not a lot like it. I mean, it's a simulator, kind of like a life simulator.
Yeah, like a life sim,
Yeah.
Sims-ish.
Yeah.
Generally, the same crowd that rolls with a Stardew Valley and a Sims is probably also rolling with an Animal Crossing. Though
Yeah.
that's not to say Animal Crossing doesn't transcend opinion or whatever. Flavor? Favor.
What?
Taste. People's
Yeah,
taste.
yeah.
You know what I'm trying to say here?
I would say anybody could kind of get into these games.
And I think a lot of people
at first
do.
glance they look kind of childish and cartoony, but I think a lot of like you're about to say, a lot of people do get into this that wouldn't normally maybe pick up something that looked like this.
Right. Like, as unfortunate as the times we are in, this was like the perfect storm for this game to come out, I feel like. Like, I think it still would have sold really well. Obviously, people were excited for this game, but oh my god, it sold ridiculous numbers. Everyone we know is playing.
Yeah, and people that even don't normally play games like are telling me, oh, I went and bought Animal Crossing because I'm home and people are talking about it, so I might as well check it out. And Switches are sold out everywhere. That's the other thing. It's like it's really hard to get a Switch right now. So man, Nintendo's just killing it with this quarantine business. That's for sure.
Yeah, I have a friend who is like a hardcore military sim. They play like really intense strategy games on the computer. Like, they are PC gamers. They don't even have consoles. They were like, I think I might get Animal Crossing. Like, what the fuck's going on?
Right.
But that's awesome.
Yeah, it is. It's good.
All right, let's talk about the factors. Let's run down our list. What is the type of co-op?
Ooh.
Honestly,
Wait, what usually goes in this?
Couch, online, split screen, same screen? It's
So
honestly
it's-
everything, right?
Yeah, I mean, there is same screen, which we didn't really participate with, but essentially,
Yeah, we both have our own Switch and our own copy. Just
right, our own island.
our experience is playing on our own island. We'll try to touch on if you play on one island, multiple people. I went and did some research. I talked to some people just because I wanted to know. I felt like that was important because we talked about how families and people are getting this game that don't usually play this kind of thing. I felt like that's probably a way a lot of people are experiencing it.
Yeah, especially people
you know.
with kids, like younger kids that
Yeah.
don't necessarily have their own Switches, and you have like a family Switch, but they want to try it out for themselves.
Yeah.
It's a totally legit way to do it.
We'll
It
touch
is
on that in a second. Don't
definitely-
let me forget because that's important.
It's definitely different from the other experience, which is when you have your own island, and you get to decide everything. You're not like sharing with somebody else.
Yeah.
But anyway, so it is different screens in most cases.
But you can play. Well, do we know? Can you play at the same exact time? Can two people
what?
be on? Can two people that live on the same island?
Yeah. You just pop in.
Okay.
Yes,
like a
you
split
can.
screen or same screen situation.
It's same screen though. It is same screen.
But we don't know how the wall works there. Like, is there a
Right.
screen
That's a good
drag or
question.
screen poof or whatever? Online, as well as local.
Yeah.
You even get to pick when you open up your gate because the multiplayer is somewhat contrived. Honestly, the whole game sort of is. All the conversational menu, like all the menus are conversation based.
Right.
You know what I'm talking about? And you go if I want to go visit you, I have to talk to the airport guy. And the airport guy has to be like, hey, whoa, what did you want to do? And you'll say, I want to fly somewhere. And then you say, oh, that sounds cool. Where would you like to fly to? Somewhere online. Oh, that's really cool. Who would you like to go see?
Yeah.
And I was trying to decide, does that contrivancy,
That's not a word.
does that add to the experience? I think it does. On the tip of my tongue, I want to say it does because it forces you to slow down. and it forces you to really live in the moment. You know what I mean?
I mean, I think at first it's fine, but I
But
think
it
maybe
does
you
get
do it
frustrating.
once every day, and then maybe after that it should be kind of just picking from a menu of options.
But then you lose the I am talking to a person aspect. Like I guess I
It has
swing
never
back and
really
forth.
bothered me so much as to be like to vocally complain about it. That's for sure. Like
Yeah.
I never really thought, yeah. There's other things I have much more of a bone to pick with because for me, as someone who's played every Animal Crossing game, that's just kind of part of the game.
No, I
So like the way I see it is, yeah, like you're saying, it's just kind of how the game has you play out a life in this way. Like that's
Right.
part of the game.
that's the forced interaction with a creature, a villager,
Right,
that
right.
this whole game is about, really. Control scheme. How are we playing this thing?
Well, I mean, a lot of times we're playing off screen. Sometimes I play on screen, so I use my Pro Controller. But most of the time, you're just playing with the Switch in your hand and then two Joy-Cons.
Like docked, you're saying.
Sometimes I
on-screen
play
is-
docked, but most of the time, yeah, that's what I meant.
So you use the Pro Controller. Is there anything?
The one thing that does happen differently, well, actually, I don't know if you get the rumble with the Pro Controller, but when you have like a big fish, you get that big old rumble with your Switch. Do you have the HD rumble turned on for this game?
Didn't know you could turn it off.
I think you can.
Is there even a setting? Where do you go to
It's
settings?
in the Switch, like the Switch
Oh.
set. I'm pretty sure you
I mean, it
can
must
turn
be
off
on.
rumble.
It does rumble for me when I'm fishing. So
You can turn it down and up. I'm pretty sure you can. Because it gets pretty intense. And it's like, should my Switch be vibrating this much? I don't
the vibrating for the fish, is that supposed to be signifying something like the more vibration, the more?
Honestly,
Intense the fish
I
is?
don't think so. I think it's more just like the big fish will vibrate. But
I
I'm
see.
not sure. Who knows? Maybe there's like a slight difference there.
Yet another mystery.
I was gonna say, so they say that the bigger the bigger the rumble, the bigger the fish. But it's hard to differentiate because, the rumble, it's like HD rumble, so it's like you can, if you, what was ever that 1-2 Switch game where you could tell me how many ice cubes was in the
Right.
Joy-Con? I wanted to do that so bad.
I know. I
But
wanted
they'll
to be
never
like,
put 1-2 Switch on sale from $60.
yeah, who played? I
Wait.
really did want to try that.
Let's see how much you can buy 1-2 Switch for right now.
Yeah, look that up. I definitely wanted to always try that because I was like, no way.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like,
It seemed so cool, and they just, why wouldn't they pack that in with the Switch?
I know.
It's $42. That's not low enough.
I would pay 20.
I would pay 20 as well.
I really love the mysteries that are being thrown around with this game. So the vibrating for the bigger fish could be true or couldn't be true, and like it's been kind of fun and its own type of co-op experience online with all the rumors and reveals or whatever you want to call them, where people are showing things they've got and all the like just the discussion that's happening
Yeah, I
online
would say,
and in person. All of my friends, like we were saying, all of our people we're around are playing it as well, and it's a whole. We're in Discord servers about the game. We're having group chats about the game. We're all hanging out in the game, and like it's like you have the co-op experience of playing the game, the programmed game, and then you have the co-op experience of everything that surrounds it and all the talks and mysteries and rumors, and like I think I really like it.
this game is unique in that way because of the time it happened and because of the kind of game it is that, yeah, it really, I mean, Animal Crossing's always had a big and very involved community, but this has really just added to it, and everyone's, is kind of in for it. The stock market with the turnips is a huge thing.
The turnip
every
exchange.
week.
Yeah.
Right. So it all feels like we're playing co-op with each other, but we're also playing co-op with a lot of other people all at once.
And it's really cool for me.
It is cool. I
Waking
like
up
it.
every morning, not only excited to open the game and do my daily stuff and see what's in the store and all that, but also then to text everyone we know and be like, my turnips are selling for $67. Mine are $100.
Right. Passing along like item wish lists and all that fun stuff. It's good.
Yeah.
I mean, showing it, like me and Craig will like do something in our town and be like, oh, look at this thing I did, like, and then we'll have ideas for each other, like, oh, maybe you should do this.
Yeah.
So that's I think more than actually going to each other's island and actually playing in game together is like more of the co-op experience for me.
And I think for most people,
Yeah,
I will
yeah.
say, like, let's just get it out of the way now. I don't know how it impacts the rating at the end of our experience here, but the going to each other's island thing, pretty lackluster.
I mean, it's And not only is there not like necessarily a lot the game gives for you to do together, but the online service that Nintendo provides is not very good, especially in this game. We're kicked off constantly, especially if you're trying to play with more than like 3 people. It's just a fucking headache.
And when people join the new, like when they start arriving on the island, you are sucked away. You're kicked out of menus, or well, actually you're asked to close. It's like, please wrap up the conversation. And then you have to watch a video of the person arriving, and like...
Right. And if someone leaves the wrong way, then the whole island might crash, and you might lose everything you've been doing for the last 30 minutes.
Yeah.
It's a mess. It's a total mess.
That's speaking from a place of total experience. We were doing the fishing tourney, which was just yesterday. And now that added...
It's been a busy weekend in Animal Crossing, folks.
It really has been. It's been pretty fun. I feel bad for you guys. You missed out. But the fishing tournament was actually a fun co-op experience because you got bonus points for having more people catching more fish in the same island. Yeah. So it was actually incentive to actually come over.
Right. And also you didn't have to pay the entry fee. So you would be like catching fish.
You're saving money, yeah.
For free, and also catching fish in a way that was more efficient to get all the points. So that became more fun. And it was just more fun to do it together, you know, and be like, oh, I got 6 and you got 5. And there's a little bit of a competitive part to that. Yeah. Which we should probably get back to the factors because I'm sure we're mentioning other things. But yeah.
But I want to finish that story by the weird online shit. After the tournament was done, we were going home. Somebody left the wrong way, and I think they pressed minus from wherever you are on the island. I guess you can press minus and you just go away.
You press minus and it brings up a menu, and I think this is some sort of emergency menu because nothing tells you to do this. There's no like teaching moment of this menu, but it does pop up and it says, do you want to do this? Do you want to do that? And so it might just be like an emergency thing if you're stuck and you can't like, whatever it is. Yeah. Like what if someone dug holes around you and you can't dig? Or I guess you could kick the holes closed.
Right.
Anyway,
I know
something
what you're
like
saying.
that.
Yeah, there could be something probably.
But it definitely isn't the proper way. And the game doesn't even really tell you this. It's not hey, don't leave like this. It's like, okay, well.
And kind of going back to the mystery and all the rumors online, we don't even know if this actually happened because of this or what.
Right.
But some of us lost all of our items after this person did it. And then some of us, it doesn't seem like we did, but we can't really be sure. And we don't know if it was an internet issue, if it was the minus issue, if it was leaving improperly. We don't know. And it's really frustrating.
It's definitely not a smooth online experience, that's for sure.
I would love if they could smooth it out and it was just, hey, if my gate's open, you can just arrive. I don't need to, just a little lower thirds pop up that said somebody's arriving and I can continue my thing, you know?
Right.
And it shouldn't be all tied together where, for Bunny Day, the thing we just said, we had a party with 8 people. When one person gets kicked, we all potentially get kicked. Like, what is going on? It's bad. That is not good. But the co-op fishing was very good. Let's get back to the factors. Progression, things to unlock.
That's all this game is, really.
That is all the game is.
But it's random. I mean, you're somewhat random after you complete the story about which items you're getting and which recipes you're getting and which materials you're getting. It's all just kind of the way the game works. You wait and you buy what's in your store, and maybe you trade with some friends, and then you stop playing, and then the next day that all refreshes.
An issue that I'm having, and I think it comes from the place of me being more like an exploratory gamer. I don't know how to phrase it. I like to discover stuff. Like I like to wake up in the morning, open my Switch, and oh my God, there is a manga shelf in this game. I had no idea. However, with all the conversation we've been talking about that's happening surrounding this game, I'm seeing videos and pictures and hearing stories left and right about things that are in the game. And it kind of... I was struggling with the idea. Is it ruining? Is it hindering? It's like it would never ruin it. Is it hindering my experience?
It's spoiling it.
But also, it's not, because now I'm still excited. You know?
Like, I mean, it's a special, unique kind of game.
It really is.
Unlike Final Fantasy Remake, where everyone's... Like, a lot of people are playing right now, but no one's really talking about it other than like, this is great, because it's a story-based game. You really don't want to spoil it. But this Animal Crossing is more of a creative, open palette. But I think it's totally valid that you wouldn't want to know what items are in the game until you find them. But it's just like most people don't play the game that way. So it's an interesting thing.
There is a lot of ways to play this game. And some people, the opposite of me is basically looking up all the items to make your wish list, to know the exact stuff you want to get there as fast as you can. You know what I mean? Like, who do I have to trade with to make sure I get this room looking this way? I mean, that's a totally valid way to play this game. In fact, maybe it's more fun because you're like getting cooler stuff sooner.
Right.
But I like the opposite of that. Like, oh man, I didn't even want to know that existed without seeing it in person. Like I come to your island, I look in your room, and I see that there's a tea set, and I go, holy shit, I didn't know there's a tea set. You know.
But I think a big part of the way this game works and people are encouraged to do is to share like what their island looks like and what their rooms look like. So that's another thing. It's like it's hard to avoid that because the community is all about, and the game, arguably is kind of all about that.
Yeah, it doesn't really hinder it. It's something that I thought about.
Yeah.
Shared loot or XP. In so much as I can literally share with you the tea set that I got.
Right.
So I got this bento box. Here you go.
Right, and I think as far as having the same island, you have your own inventory. So if you're on an island with like another villager, so you're playing the same Switch, you have your own inventory. You don't share loot in that way.
But you share. So this is one of the things. Let's do it really quick right now. Let's run through what happens if you're playing multiple people on the same island. It seems like playing in this way would require the most cooperation because if you're unfamiliar with Animal Crossing, your island has a certain fruit, and those fruits grow about 3 every 3 days, right? Like one tree will grow 3 every 3 days. Is that how it works?
Yeah.
Yeah. So let's say I wake up, you and I are playing on the same island, I wake up, shake all the trees, and take all the fruit, and I go sell it to make money. There's nothing left. There's no fruit left for you. You know what I mean? You literally will have to draw lines in the sand or tell each other like, hey, you can't take this side of the island's fruit. That you need to leave them for me. I think that would be tricky with like kids or someone really, if you're playing with just someone selfish, you don't have to be a kid. Just be someone who's like not listening, you know?
It's definitely, I don't feel the conventional way to play Animal Crossing in some ways. I mean, that's how it used to be. Every Animal Crossing has had the ability to have multiple people live on an island. The GameCube one was the big thing. I think that was really touting that feature. And you couldn't play at the same time, though. But yeah, it's the same thing. You had to kind of decide who got to do what. So you needed a lot more communication.
Which isn't necessarily bad, but it just requires kind of rationality that I think young people or selfish people or just naive people who aren't really, they don't play a lot of games. You know, they don't really understand what's going on.
I mean, you're kind of making your own rules. The game isn't telling you what you can have or you can't have. The game isn't deciding the cooperative experience you're having.
Right.
It's just giving you this open world and all these things. And it's like, all right, have fun. Go play, kids.
And in the interest of fairness to the other styles of play, if I go visit your island, I can shake your tree and I can take your fruit.
Right, but I can't open my door unless
a dick is a dick is a dick.
It.
Right.
So I have a more control in that way. Whereas you're playing with Switch with someone else, they can just... they can play whenever they want.
Exactly.
Basically.
And the other shared experience we're having is we have a running list going on a document of fossils that we find. So when I find duplicates, I mark it down. I already have this one. I have this one for you. So it's not built into the game. It's not a co-op shared loot or XP built into the game, but it is conducive to doing that.
Right.
Like every time I find a duplicate fossil, I'm giving it to you if you don't have it.
I mean, that's what's kind of interesting about this game is like a lot of people are like, man, this sucks and that sucks and I can't keep track of this within the game. This game kind of necessitates the community creating tools that help make the game easier to track. And it's kind of interesting because I find it like really fun that there's all these tools. We made our spreadsheet. There's a turnip calculator where you can calculate what the pattern might be for your stock prices. There's people that have this whole like sharing website. You can search patterns by like, I want a pattern with a pirate flag, and you can find it by people uploading it to that site because there's no search function in the pattern searcher in Able Sisters. So there's like all these tools the community is making, and I think that's really interesting.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't think it's like a bad thing on the game, but a lot of people would think it was. I don't know.
No,
I just don't find it to be, because to me, that's just not how the game is really like played.
Right.
I don't know.
If you were to block off all that other stuff and just think about the game still functions really well and it still plays fine. It's just a slightly slower experience.
They don't want you, I don't think the point of the game is to get everything. I don't think the point of the game is to collect every single object. It's very difficult. There's nothing to help you track. You have a catalog, but there's no way for you to track when you're looking and buying things, whether you have that or not. And I understand that that's very frustrating for someone that's like a completionist. And I understand why you would want to know, you know?
Yeah,
but I don't know. I just think
that feels a bit like, oh, I want to do a backflip emote in every town of every... And it's like, well, you have to track that yourself. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like having...
Well, I mean,
that's
I
not
think
exactly
someone
the
could
same.
argue that it's not the same.
But like it's like, well, you set yourself that goal. That is not the goal the game gave you. So yes, you need an outside source, or you need an outside tool to help you, because that's your personal goal. Not the game doesn't have goals.
Right.
You know what I mean? You need a journal yourself of what you want to do.
There's like a whole community of people that do Animal Crossing journals, by the way. It's really
Like
fascinating.
Bujo stuff, like bullet
Like,
journals.
yeah, exactly.
That's
Like they do like such creative scrapbooking to like make little like screenshot printouts, and it's just beautiful stuff. I don't know, it's so interesting because I think this game is great in that it ignites creativity in people in ways even beyond the game itself, and like making all these cool tools and stuff. So
Yeah, even
I don't see it as like a negative thing about the game, but I really do understand why some people be very frustrated with it.
yeah,
But maybe it's just not
Yeah.
the game for you then.
right. Then
I don't
maybe
know.
go play Pokemon. Got to catch them all.
Yeah, Pokemon has a Pokedex, and it will tell you with that little Pokeball next to the Pokemon when you encounter it in the wild whether you caught it or not. And that's a great feature for someone who wants to complete their Pokedex, which is what the game encourages you to do with rewards at the end of the game if you do it or not. There's no reward in Animal Crossing if you complete your catalog. There's nothing.
You don't get a golden stove.
Who even knows how big the catalog is? I have no
I know.
idea. There's someone out there right now trying to figure it out. Because there were sites for New Leaf and sites for all of the other games for every single item in the catalog, and you could keep track of it by entering it in this site, which was
Wow.
a great way to do it because otherwise you have to make your own spreadsheet.
Right.
So I don't know. It's very interesting because I feel like right now there's a lot of discussion about this game as regards of like, wow, it's missing this feature and it's missing that feature. And I definitely think there are things that could be better. Like you should be able to mass craft. I absolutely agree. I don't think that's helping anyone and making the game more peaceful by not having mass crafting. It's just kind of stupid.
Mm-hmm.
But there are some things where I'm like, I don't know. I don't think it needs that.
I guess I'm the devil's advocate on this one. I'm the island's advocate. I like the island time vibe that like, hey man, I'll make you a shovel, but
I'll make you that bait, but I'm making it one at a time, dude.
I kind of like it. It forces you like, yo, chill out.
It certainly doesn't make me as angry as I think it makes a lot of people right now.
True. For the most part though, the community, from what I've seen and what I've experienced in this game and in New Leaf, the community, at the risk of sounding like I'm at a rave, the amount of plur, peace, love, unity, and respect that goes on in this community is wild. Like,
yeah, and I've always known that about Animal Crossing. It's always been one of my favorite things. And I was going to talk about this in the factor playing with random people.
I forgot. I'm off the... Let me get back on track here. Let's get down the list of factors. Next on the list is friendly fire.
No.
Nope. You can hit each other with nets.
You really can't do any damage to each
Doesn't
other.
do
I would say
anything.
the only thing that kind of amounts to friendly fire is going to someone's town and griefing, so to speak, which is just doing something they don't want you to do. I mean...
Sprint over their flowers.
Now, running over flowers used to be a very serious offense, and now it's a little less serious because you can't actually destroy them. Whereas
Which is
before,
smart.
if you ran over flowers, you could actually destroy them, and some flowers take a lot of time to grow, like golden flowers or hybrids, whatever it is. So
Yeah.
now it's a little less annoying, but they can shake things off your trees, they can pick things up, and there's ways that you can circumvent this, but that's probably the friendly fire of this game.
Yeah. Yeah, you can't really... The slingshot only shoots up. The axe doesn't do anything. I tried.
We hit each other on the head with nets, but that's, it doesn't hurt you. It's just fun.
I do sort of wish there was some sort of water balloon or Nerf gun type mechanic, like just for fun. It literally would do nothing
I
other
think
than
a water gun feels like
a squirt gun.
safe.
Yeah, and then it can be super Splatoon looking, like it's not a gun.
Maybe it knocks you back, like you get a little like knockback animation. Although that
I
probably
don't
just
even
annoy
know.
me.
I
if
don't
people
know.
have
I think it should just get you glisten for the next 3 seconds or something. So then you've been hit. So like you can play little games. We were playing tag today.
we were playing Manhunt.
Yeah, and we were using our
That's
net.
fun.
You had to whack them in the head with a net to get them caught. But it doesn't actually animate that you've been caught. It doesn't. You just kind of have to trust, like, oh no, I caught you.
I mean, that's the other thing about how this game is all about being creative because you have to make your own games in Animal Crossing. There's a whole Discord out there of someone running musical chairs every Sunday, and you come and you give $50K, and there's a prize pool, and you
Sunday musical chairs on the island called Beloved.
Seriously, that's totally a thing. I'm part of this Discord, and this person's island is all set up just for musical chairs, and basically they stand in the middle, and like there's instruments now in this game, and they just kind of rapidly play an instrument, and then when they stop, you get on a chair.
Shout out to the instruments. Real quick diversion. Shout out to the instruments. Those aren't in the old games, right?
They're very cute. No, they're not. I mean, there's instruments, furniture you could play, but not holdable.
But not holding. I can hold a little fucking pan flute and.
So I love that. I just think this is what this game is about to me. Yeah. It's what the community makes of it. It's like what I said when I played New Leaf or Wild World, and I signed up. This site still exists. I found out, by the way. It's animalcrossingcommunity.com, I believe. And I signed up to be like a runner, and I would run hybrid flowers to other people's towns, and I would get paid in bells. It's like being a kid and making up games. Or it's like being
Sam Porter Bridges, and you're delivering to people isolated on their own islands.
You could cosplay as your little guy.
That's another thing you could do in this game that's a blast. Making costumes, because you can make custom shirts and stuff.
And they really upped that because you can do like what they call pro designs, and you can make sleeves and like different kinds of dresses. It's awesome. The patterns are great. And once again, all about the community's creativity when it comes to that.
We do need to get back on track, but real quick, the musical chair mania, is there a buy-in? So like, is there like high stakes?
Yes.
Oh my God,
but there's
this.
high stakes musical chairs and lower stakes musical chairs.
That's so stupid. I love it.
It's so funny.
So that's amazing. I wish they would implement a little bit more. Like, it's awesome that we can make these games, but how cool would it be if there was also like a soccer mechanic?
I definitely think
nothing advanced, but
in the future it'd be cool if there were mini games, like structured mini games they created. Yeah. You know, that would be good. And I think it needs something like that.
Definitely needs something to encourage going to each other's islands other than just trading.
Right.
Interruptive actions.
The online part is probably the most interruptive action.
Atrocious, and it's one of the worst in the history of Saves Together. I will gladly get teleported back to the middle of the screen rather than get booted off an island and lose the money that I made.
Yeah, that's not great.
But other than that, you can like try to shovel, like when you dig in the ground, it makes a hole, and you could like try to surround somebody with a bunch of holes. That's kind of interruptive, but all they have to do is press Y and kick it in.
No.
Separate mode or full?
Just the full.
It's the full thing. There's only one. You only have one island. Hey, that's something to be aware of. You only have one island per Switch console. So it's not cartridge if you bought it physically. It's per Switch console, not profile. None of that. Just the console, which is
kind of stupid.
Kind of crazy. So, but it is the full mode. If you're in Animal Crossing, you're in your island, and that's the only option. Playing with random people online. So we sort of touched on it a little bit. Do you have anything else to add about the community?
I mean, it's interesting because unlike most co-op games we talk about, we do not play with random people online. But this one, we especially are doing that.
Oh my God, yes.
So, you know, we are in a Discord of Animal Crossing people. And there's people on Twitter, and Reddit. And there's a million different communities for Animal Crossing. And a lot of times, maybe you need to sell your turnips, okay? It's a great example. Someone you've never met, and they have a very high price, and they're willing to have you come in. A lot of people will, like, leave tips, or you'll leave tips. There's a big like culture of how to be polite on someone's island, and you always leave a tip if you don't know, especially if you don't know them, you know. And I think it's just great. Almost all my experiences with online random people are good. There is talk of people that grief and like people that try to do shitty things, but honestly, I really think compared to most games, that's not really as big of a thing.
Yeah, in real life, I love to give people little gifts. Like, I don't know why, it's just something I enjoy. Like, doesn't have to be because I went on a trip,
humble
but
brag.
Like, if I could, no, I just mean
kidding,
it. Like, I actually enjoy. Like, hey, I was thinking of you. I know it's just a Snickers bar.
Greg just wants you to know he's a nice, good person.
No, I'm fucking not.
You are. That's okay.
But in this game, I've been sending letters every day to people. Like, hey, I got this teddy bear. I don't know if you want it, but have it. Like, you know.
Oh, that's another thing they added that I really like that was not in the previous games and always should have been. You can send letters to real people. That's amazing. I love that.
I love, like, I go in my store. I'm like, oh, I don't want this. You're working on, your town is kind of like a medieval fantasy town. So like I found a candle mounted to the wall, and I was like, well, I don't want that thing. I'm not going to use it, but I know Grace will. Like, here you go. Like, I don't expect anything in return. It's not a tip for you doing anything. It's just, I like to give people things, and this lets me do that so much, and I love it. Like the tipping is awesome that the community came up with that etiquette. But also every time I go to an island, I just try to bring something. Like,
Yeah.
hey, I'm visiting my buddy. Here's an orange. It's not really useful, but I like doing it.
It's nice.
I like that you can.
It makes the game just pleasant to play with
Right.
people when everyone's kind of in that mind space of sharing is caring kind of
It
thing.
feels good to wake up and you have letters from people.
Yeah.
And maybe it's a dumb urinal and it's a bad joke in the letter, but it's still they
You
cared
look like
enough.
this and it's a toilet bowl,
Yeah.
you know.
Hey, I found this picture of you.
Reminds me
and
of
it's a
you.
toilet bowl. But
Here,
it
wear
just,
this. It's a paper bag.
they were thinking of you. People love sending me trash, and honestly, I'm here for it. I'm working on like a trailer parky trashville. Okay, not that trailer parks are trash. I'm sorry, but you know what I mean. I'm backyard wrestling is where I'm going. Once I get the boxing ring, I'm trying to make like a whole backyard wrestling setup. So I have lots of tires and cardboard boxes and stuff, and people just keep sending me their garbage that they fish, and I like it personally. It makes me feel like Oscar the Grouch. I love trash, but hey,
That's you.
that is me.
I respect that.
Okay, the difficulty of the co-op.
I mean, I think I don't know. That's funny.
This is almost unquantifiable.
I don't think it's difficult.
I don't think it's difficult. However,
I think the only difficulty comes with Nintendo's limitations on online
Yeah.
capabilities. That's the big difficulty. It's like, I don't even want to know if I want to bother going to this person's town because it's going to crash. I don't know what's going to happen. Everything takes too long to load. You know what I mean?
yeah.
Other than that, it's really not a difficult co-op game because
Do
in general, this is not a difficult game at all. It's not about difficulty. This game isn't
Right.
hard.
This isn't a challenge you overcome.
Yeah, it's not. It's a town that you build, and it's a picture that you paint. You know, it's like paint.exe.
Yeah.
The game.
I do. It's better than that.
Yeah, it's better than that.
I think the creation tools are literally better than that.
Right. It's like Sims. Sims isn't hard. You know, it's like you set challenges for yourself, so it can be hard for you because if you're like, oh, I gotta build this, you know, then you do that. It's not like the game is hard.
I do think some people find difficulty in the crafting mechanic, especially early in the game. When you first get to the island, it's literally deserted. There's nothing there. And you have to craft all your not weapons.
All your weapons.
All your tools, your shovel, your axe, your bucket, whatever. I know a lot of people have issue with how frequently they break and the fact that you have to craft at all these tools and they break and you can't make a non-breakable one. But I really feel like the balance, and it must just be my playstyle, obviously. I really feel like the balance of when the tool breaks is almost perfect because when it does break, yeah, I'm frustrated, but I used it for so long that it doesn't feel like wait, what the hell? It just broke. Like, I really think that they last long enough that I'm never furious that it broke. And it's
Yeah.
also super easy to go get another one. You either shake a tree 7 times and 5 sticks fall out, or you go buy it from Timmy and Tommy at the Nook stop. And then
That's another thing the community ended up coming with a creative, cute solution for. You can't craft from storage. I do think that's kind of dumb.
yeah.
So you have all these crafting materials you don't want to carry around with you, and you don't want to have to go back in your house and pick them up. So people have been creating little like workshops, and then you have like a bench and you put your like iron and your wood on there. And so whenever you need to craft, you just run up to your little workshop and pick it up, and they make it look cute. And it's nice, you know. It's like a funny solution to like an actual kind of stupid game feature, but
That's cool. I didn't know that that's what that was.
yeah. I don't think I agree with you that I don't think the crafting is frustrating. And I also was reading that people were talking about how, as far as like game design goes, it's sort of meant to stop you from routine in a way and like break you off your normal path, because that's kind of how Animal Crossing normally goes, and make you kind of go back to your house for that reason.
Yeah.
So like maybe you're seeing a villager on the way that sees you and you wouldn't normally have seen, or like you take a new path to town that you wouldn't normally take. Whatever it is.
That's brilliant.
It's a way to break up the monotony of the game. And I understand that it is frustrating, but I don't think it's definitely, that doesn't make me furious either. I'm just like, okay, I make like 1 tool a day based on what I'm doing. Almost everything costs me a tool, unless I'm like going overboard, you know?
If you know you're going to be hammering or axing down a bunch of trees, make 2 axes.
And materials aren't hard to come by. You're never like hard to find materials.
Only right when you
Gold.
get there. I think the first
I would say. Yeah, when
gold.
you get there.
Actually, have you had to use gold for anything?
Not yet, but there's like, I've seen recipes for gold toilets. The robot takes gold.
The robot.
Someone I saw today got a
right.
gold toilet that washed up on their beach. Recipe for gold toilet, and it's just gold, and it's a gold toilet. Love that.
I do think very early, when you first start, the materials are harder to come by because the amount of iron you need to get started if you want to do...
I don't know, because you can just make flimsy.
No. You need to donate like 30 iron to build the first store or whatever.
But it only takes you but you can go to the other islands.
I know, but I think...
I don't think
I don't have
bad.
a problem with it, but I can see why someone would get frustrated. Like,
right.
I have 2 iron, and it wants me to have 30 by the end of the day.
But I don't think you have to have it by... But there's nothing telling you have to have it by the end of the day.
But people feel that pull, that drive to kind of get everything done. And
I think part of that is because of ironically, because of the community. Because everyone's playing, everyone keeps showing pictures of their brilliantly created towns with all these tools and things that you don't have access to at the beginning. People feel the need to rush through and get to that point. They're like, I want a beautiful town too, But you can't. But unfortunately, that's not what the game wants you to do. The game kind of wants you to take the day. Okay, this is how far you got. You got 1 new villager. All right, come back tomorrow. That's how the game wants to be played.
And it's how I like playing it.
Yeah, me too. That's how I've always played it.
That's what allows me to play it for hundreds of hours and for
over
months.
Time. Yeah, because that's the other thing. This game is not meant to be beaten in a month because it's you want to experience all the seasons and the holidays. Mm-hmm. So doing everything you can in 2 weeks literally does not help you because then all you've seen is spring. So you're done with the game. You haven't been through fall, through winter, through Christmas, everything that the game wants to show you down the road. It's meant to be played a little bit a day over a long time.
Yeah.
But I understand that that's not how everyone wants to play the game, and I respect that. And God bless the time travelers out there. God bless.
Ooh, the time travelers.
You do you, and I'll do me. And I respect you. I respect you. I understand you have other things to do in life, and you just want to get it done. But can't relate.
I respect you as a human,
but not as a gamer.
I don't respect you as a hashtag gamer. I don't think that
right,
you understand
enough.
island time. And I think you should. I think that
Craig
makes you a better person.
is very serious about the idea of island time.
Island time will make your life
This
so
game
much
is the
better.
definition. It's even on an island this time.
It's even on an island this time.
Have we gone through all the factors?
Nope. Intensity. Is this game intense?
Not at all. Literally the least amount of intense as possible. Unless you're playing Manhunt, and all of a sudden you see your friends sneaking around the corner of a tree with a net, and you run.
Is it a pizza party game?
No.
No.
Only so much. No, it's not.
I don't think it would be.
You don't pull out Animal Crossing at a pizza party. You plan. You have a date. You say, everyone dress your best and arrive at my island where we will play musical chairs.
I think you play Animal Crossing all together in the morning, and then you leave for each other's house when you're allowed to, when you're not on stay at home. What is it called? Shut in?
Lockdown? Quarantine?
That sounds sketchy, though. All that sounds scary. What's the non-scary?
It's a lockdown, baby. Drive me crazy.
It's the shutdown, the stay in place, shelter in place. Got it.
Shelter. So many words for the same goddamn thing.
When you don't live in that world, I think you play Animal Crossing in the morning, and then you put it away and you go to the pizza party later tonight.
Exactly. Yeah, you have your coffee and you discuss it over mimosas.
Oh
and
man, coffee and a cigarette used to be the pinnacle morning thing. Now it's coffee and Animal Crossing.
Wait,
it's
what do you
addiction.
mean? What if you had coffee and a cigarette in the morning? What do I not know?
I mean, that's what people strive for because of how great it is as a combination.
That's what people strive for.
Now you strive for Animal Crossing and coffee.
I see.
In the morning. Competitiveness of the co-op.
Only so much as when we were playing the fishing tourney, it told us how many fish we caught.
Or if you have a little keeping up with the Joneses gene in you. If you're wait, Grace has she got a pirate ship and she built this whole new pirate zone.
Kind of like I was saying,
to
people
look better.
Want their towns to look good based because their friends' towns look good. They're like, oh my God, I need to also make my town look good. There is that competitiveness.
And that's pretty competitive. I could see certain personality types really getting fucked up by that.
Right.
Last factor here, strategy or tactics.
Yeah, I think there's say a ton. So.
Yeah.
Well, when it comes to co-op, sure. I mean, it's like our spreadsheet, right?
You're right?
That's the strategy.
The strategy
to complete the fossils in the fastest amount of time.
And work together on the turnip farm.
Right, and work together on the turnip farm is we use our turnip calculator
and help each other. Like I said, Grace, here's a medieval thing. Here's some wrestling shit.
No, there's definitely communication and strategy going on as far as what are we looking out for each other for?
Yeah.
So yeah.
There's even somebody, I won't name names, but I'm watching you. Somebody owes me $300K. I gave them a loan, and I expect payment in full. So
Yep.
I'm just saying that there's strategy and tactic right there. Fear tactics. Okay, so is there any things you want to talk about real quick in the wrap up here? It doesn't have to be quick. We're on island time. Before we get to our rating. You know,
I don't think so.
heard that
Go ahead. Go ahead.
if you pop a balloon above a villager's head and the present falls on their head, that villager will move out right then and there. They'll be so furious. So
I'm done.
A lot of people are using this, apparently, because this is just a rumor. A lot of people are using this to get rid of the ugly ones, like the cats and the mice and the frogs, and get the cool ones, like the eagle and the robot chicken.
Well, you know what I heard? Is if you can, you know when Gulliver washes up on your island?
Yeah.
And you need to look for parts for him?
Right.
If you can find all the parts for him within 30 seconds and then give it back to him within 30 seconds, the next mystery island tour that you go to will be a completely new island where the rocks will only give you gold. So it's like, you know that rock island there is?
Yeah.
And it's money? It's just going to be gold that
makes sense.
Yeah, it does make sense.
I know why. I can see why they would.
sense.
I can see why that would get coded into the game.
Yeah, they would code that.
Yeah.
That's the only thing that makes sense.
Yeah.
It all makes sense.
Yet another mystery unsolved.
Yet another rumor. You can't debunk any of these, so don't bother.
I would like to see someone try to bop someone on the head with a present.
I feel like I've gotten close, but I'm always like, excited by it. It never really happens.
I have a grievance I'd like to bring up.
I won't hear it.
Nope, you're gonna. All the villagers can walk around with their sweet lemony lemonade or their delicious BLT. I've seen them with lollipops. I've seen them holding books.
I like when they hold donuts.
They can hold donuts. And I fucking can't? What is this? What is that? I'm actually upset. I don't like that.
Well, you know what I heard? It's a feature that you unlock eventually once you get every item in the catalog. You know what I was saying earlier about not having a reward? I lied. It actually means that you get
can
to
hold a
unlock
donut.
holding donuts.
What? That's how you do it.
I
So
know.
they've all got all the items, all the villagers.
They do.
Oh.
They do.
No, but really, I'm actually mad. Why can't I walk around with a soda in my hand? Why can the villagers do it, but I can't?
Listen.
This is not a bit. I'm angry.
I don't know. I don't think it matters that much.
What do you mean it doesn't matter that much? You can make yourself look however you want. You can look like a pretty princess. You can look like a pirate who just stormed the seven seas, but you can't hold a sandwich
No, you can't.
and just like, I just want to role play a guy eating a sandwich.
I think, whatever.
I'm mad.
That's okay.
I'm mad. And soon when we rank this game, I'm mad.
I think we should rank it based on that just now. Oh, wait, what's a good snack? Donut. Can't eat it. Sorry. Fish.
So anything last, we got sidetracked again by funny rumors.
They're real. They're not funny. They're not for fun. They're real. I don't have anything else to say. I've said all I've had to say. Animal Crossing, the game. New Horizons. This is the Animal Crossing game to me.
This is the one. I think there's a few people that think it's New Leaf still, but I don't know. This one's really good.
Wrong.
This is a very good game.
The idea that you can put things outside, furniture outside, is what makes this game better than all the other Animal Crossing
we didn't even
games.
touch on that, dude. That is the game changer of game changers.
Yeah.
Like when Madden added the truck stick, nothing. When Animal Crossing added
I don't know what
furniture
you're
outside,
talking about. Truck
stick, dude. All right, fine. When
The fuck?
When Call of Duty had you aiming down sights.
Call of Duty added guns?
When Call of Duty added
damn.
perks. No. When Call of Duty added perks, nothing compared to this.
So yeah, it's a great game. I would give it
Triple S.
I have to give it a double S because the game, it's classic way we do this. I hear you out and then I just give it one below. Because the game does not actually give you that co-op funness and you have to make it, but I do think that's part of the game, which is why the ranking is so high. I still will give it a double S, and also because the online situation is such a goddamn shit show. I'm gonna have to give it a double S.
Okay,
it's ranked down for that. I think it's a great game.
You're right. I don't disagree with you, actually. I do need to say it's a double S plus because this is Hats, the video game. And if you know anything about Saves Together, it's that a hat is important.
All right, we're going to give it a double S plus.
A double S plus. That's very good.
Yeah.
This game is phenomenal.
This game is good.
This game transcends your personal taste.
This game transcends your personal taste. And if you don't like this game, then you're wrong.
And I want to see you on my island, and we're gonna play musical chairs,
I'm
musical
gonna
death
net
chairs.
your head so hard next time I see you, dude.
I'm gonna aggravate
shake all your
emote.
trees.
What?
Shake all your trees.
Oh yeah, I'm coming to your island. If you don't like this game, I'm coming to your island. I'm shaking all your trees. I'm gonna eat a fruit and then I'm gonna shovel your rock. If you don't like this game, that about wraps up the main topic here. Why don't we head into our closing segments, and then go back to playing Animal Crossing.
Let's do it.
So you know what I heard
What did you hear?
is that if you take a lucky cat statue and you place it outside, because now in this game you can place the furniture outside, and you place it out in front of Nook's Cranny, the store, your turnip prices will sell for higher the next day. Yeah, very cool.
How much higher though?
That is, that remains to
Could
be
be
seen.
just one.
It's a mystery. That's why this is an unsolved mystery
That's right.
on Animal Crossing Island. No, this is the closing segment. I kind of wanted to do something real quick where we stack rank all of the fruits with pure science. Which one's the best? Which one's the worst? The definitive, undisputed champion fruit.
I don't think any of these fruits are best or worst.
That's because you don't care enough.
Maybe.
We have the pear, the humble pear.
A lot
As
of
of
people
right
hate
now, I
pears.
guess it's top of the list,
I
right?
would say bottom.
It's the
I
top
guess
and the
that's the
bottom right
same.
now. Coconut, do we count that? Does the Animal Crossing community count coconuts? No, because everybody can have coconuts, right?
I mean, everyone can have any fruit.
I mean, like,
Coconuts
you'll
aren't
get
fruit.
it if you play by yourself.
Coconuts are not a fruit.
All right, coconut's not counted. The apple.
Higher than pear.
Wrong, dude. It's less than
No,
the pear.
higher than pear.
Why?
Because pears suck.
Pears are great, dude. They're an
Oh,
excellent
wow, this
shape.
is a great science we're doing. See what I mean? It's a fruit. Is this pears in the context of Animal Crossing or pears in the real world?
Both.
Apples are way better than pears.
In real world?
And both.
Why not in Animal Crossing? Why
Anyway.
is an apple better? It's stupid. It's on the tree. It's just a red apple. It's
I
just
mean,
like, here you
pears
go.
are also on the
Are
tree
you from
now.
upstate New York? Yeah, you are. Here's an apple. Why did I get apples?
Apples are honestly scientifically cooler because they can be used to make so many more delicious things than a pear can.
Pear cobbler.
I've never had
Pear
it, never
pie.
will. Never had it, never will.
Candy pear.
I would have that.
All right, I don't really care about apples that much. I actually hate
Wow,
apples.
it's almost like
So apples under pears.
apples are above pears.
That's what I said.
Okay.
Apples are under the pears.
Apples are above the pears.
Peaches.
Above apples.
Top. It goes peach, apple, pear.
Okay. It's easy enough.
Cherries.
Below peaches, above apples.
Yeah. Hey, you're pretty good at this.
Thanks. I'm an expert in fruit.
But here's where we might diverge. The great pear-apple debate was a great. But now comes
Great.
the orange.
Fuck oranges, dude.
Oh, bottom.
Above pear.
No, what's wrong with pears?
Pears are the worst. I hate pears.
Pears are the best.
Oranges are good. Better than pears. Worse
Pears
than
aren't
apples.
even that good. Oranges. Wait, so you think orange is better than apple?
No, better than... No. Apple is better than orange. Orange is below apple. Above pear.
Where's cherry?
Cherry is top.
Nope.
Under peach.
Peach.
Okay.
Okay, peach, cherry, apple, orange, pear.
Yeah.
That's okay. I don't
You heard
like
it here
pears that
first,
much.
folks.
That's the official
saves
certified-
together fruit stack rank list.
That's the global stack rank. That's not just saves together. You heard it here first. This is breaking news. The list as is decided by
Killing
the
it.
world. Okay, so that was fun.
Thank you.
Was it?
It was my idea.
Was it fun?
It could have been funner. I'll
What
give it a
could've made
6
it-
out of 10. If I had to
You gotta
stack
start
rank
somewhere.
fun moments in this podcast, it would be at the bottom.
In this episode?
This is the pair of the podcast.
Wow, that hurts.
Why? You were a part
Apples
of this whole
have
podcast.
seeds.
Anyway,
And pears don't. Cherries have big pits. Do you like cherries in the real world?
I don't know if I can eat them.
Oh, right. The whole weak bloodline thing. Okay. Do you have a buried treasure indie game highlight of the week of the month?
I do. It's called Test Tube Titans.
Oh. okay.
Developed and published by Ghost Time Games. Currently only on Steam. but, possibility of being ported to everything else, as is every game these days. So essentially the whole shtick here is you grow procedurally generated monsters, like kaiju, and you use them to destroy cities using physics-based controls. So, like, you have per limb control, and you're basically going around with these, like, ridiculous-looking monsters, like Godzilla-like monsters, and destroying cities. And there's fully destructible environments, and there's local co-op 2-player through the main campaign.
Okay.
And also head-to-head wrestling with 4 players. If you want to wrestle your, like, monsters together. You should definitely look into this game, because I think you would be into it. It's pretty cool.
Test Tube Titans?
Test Tube
Why
Titans.
test tubes?
Because, like, the beginning, when you're developing your monster, it's sort of like, you're just, like, adding stuff, and then it's being generated.
Whoa, hey, that's kind of cool.
In kind of like in a test tube, yeah. And also, it's an alliteration, Test Tube Titans. Hats off to the alliteration, as always. It looks fun.
Sometimes alliteration goes too far.
I agree.
And, like, Test Tube Titan, I mean, it's not bad. It's also not great.
Well, you heard it here first, folks. It's
Certified.
Not bad, and it's not great.
If I want to look it up more, because I do, where do I go?
I would go to Steam, and I would search Test Tube Titans.
Is it Test Space Tube?
That's right.
Oh, what? Isn't test tube one word? I got all kinds of problems with this.
Just Google it. Good God, I think if you put a space or if you didn't, it wouldn't matter.
Why don't you guys at home do the research? Find out. If you put a space, doesn't matter. Let me know.
Let me know.
Write in. Send us to P.O. Box 50624.
It's not real.
Is that how P.O. Boxes work?
Sure.
Is there just one number that you get?
P.O. Boxes are strange things.
Hey, that's the episode. And I heard a rumor that you know where they can find us on the internet.
Well, Craig, I heard that you can follow us over on Twitter at Saves Together, and that's where we post the majority of our updates and episodes. We're also over at Instagram with the same name, posting picture updates.
And I heard a rumor that recently we did a Cooking Mama stream. You know that game that bricks your Switch and mines cryptocurrency?
And Mines Your Craft? Yeah, I do.
Mines Your Craft, yeah. We played that on stream for like an hour. The VOD is up on Twitch at Saves Together. Also YouTube, search Saves Together. I think we still have the URL that's like !D5Z capital R.
Wait, really?
I mean...
Oh, yeah, that's our URL, but that's not
the real... No, don't go to that. That goes something weird. That page is weird. I've been there. Don't go there.
Anyway, go check it out if you're interested. We may be streaming in the future, especially now. We're not sure, though, so, it's just a nice little bonus kind of thing if we do it.
Yeah, we might start also doing, like, just a solo stream. Because I don't know.
Because why not?
Could be fun. Yeah, it's fun. It'll never be anything serious. We'll never, like, really have, like, a set schedule, probably, but... So don't expect that, but maybe once in a while we'll get a video going, get a stream going.
That's right.
So check out Twitter, check out Instagram to hear more. And you're done hearing more about this episode because it's over.
That's right.
Goodbye.
It is over. Goodbye.